Are you confused by all the messages out there of eating high carb or low carb, high protein to get that extra weight off or just to be healthy? So, what is the truth and what's the best diet out there for a slimmer body and for your health? And that's the important piece of this whole thing, is for a healthy you. I am Diane Thompson of kickbutthealthcoach.com. So for weekly tips on living a leaner, healthier life based on the newest science, subscribe to this channel. Now, I'm here to tell you that diets do work. Okay, they really do work. You all know people who have lost weight following certain diet plans, meal plans, what have you, but they haven't been able to keep the weight off long term. And there's some reasons for that. I'm going to cover that in a different video, but let's just suffice it to say that diets do work. However, some are much better for you in terms of your health than others. Let's explore, one of the biggest trends right now, and that's eating a high protein, low carb diet. So here's what I have to say about that as a dietitian and as a successful health coach. I have many successful clients. Anytime you cut out an entire food group, you're going to have weight loss. It's next to impossible not to. So it does work, okay? So, but for the health of it, what is best? Because that's the bottom line. Here's what science says, okay? As a dietitian, science is really important to me. The evidence, the research, I want to have these diet plans backed up by evidence and research, okay? So we're going to look at BMI because that's a really good measure. And people who had the lowest BMI were actually vegans and vegetarians. Their BMI was 2 points lower. And BMI, body mass index, is connected to how much fiber you take in. Okay, so if you're eating a lot of fiber, your BMI tends to be lower than people who don't eat fiber. And there's some really good reasons for that, because when you eat a lot of fiber, it stays around in your gut longer and you're full longer. So you're not going to eat as much because you're full, right? It's not very fun to eat when you're full. The other thing that happens when you eat a lot of fiber, especially beans and legumes, there's something called the second meal effect. And that second meal effect means that the beans are going to help keep your blood sugars lower for a longer period of time than just the meal that you ate the beans in. So that is like a huge benefit of eating beans. So find ways to add beans to your meals. Garbanzo beans on your salads, hummus. It's a great snack with some vegetables. Talk about the second meal effect and fiber, right? Beans have fiber also, but they also have what's called the second meal effect. And you can Google that. Now, if you're eating a diet that's high in meat, why people lose weight with a diet that's high in meat is that in order to detox your body from all the nitrogen that's found in the meat, you use up a lot of water, flush it out to form urea or urine, okay? And so eating a high protein, especially animal protein diet, is going to be really hard on your kidneys. And that's another big issue, or a good reason not to eat a lot of meat, because Americans do have a really high incidence of kidney disease. So if you're eating a lot of animal protein, it's going to make that situation even worse. So, and I'm going to share a story with you here, because one of the things that happens when you're eating a lot of animal protein is that you can't really do, or without eating carbs, is that you can't do a whole lot of exercise. Like one of the runners I used to run with was doing a high protein, low carb diet. And I remember one day we were out running and he couldn't complete the run. Someone had to go pick him up because he bonked. He totally bonked. Ran out of fuel, no energy. He was done. So that's one of the side effects of eating a high protein, low carb diet. It's really hard to sustain movement. And here's the thing too, people have a tendency to binge on carbohydrates, right? They don't binge on protein. They just don't. So they're binging on carbohydrates, and they're simple carbohydrates. They don't binge on with cravings, carbohydrates, keeping your blood sugars nice and stable, getting more fiber, which is going to really help with that too. And it includes more fiber, so you're going to in your diet the ability to have that second meal effect work for you. And I'm going to put the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to click on that for more information like this. You'll have a list of 42 snacks